Hello, good evening, hello, and welcome to another live stream tonight on Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube and on Kick at Sports Kick John, ready for Sunday Night Football, Seattle and Washington. Preview this game momentarily. First of all, let's begin with prayer. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day, and please protect everyone involved in this game tonight, players and fans alike. Please keep everyone safe, and please look over all of us, Lord. And as we do this for your will, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Seattle and Washington. Seattle currently at 5-2, half game back of the Rams in the NFC West. Rams winning earlier today over the Saints. Washington coming in at 3-5, currently in third place in the NFC East, an NFC East that is currently a runaway right now for the Philadelphia Eagles. To Washington at 3-5, up against it right now. Washington wanting to avoid dropping to 3-6 and be an uphill climb at 3-6 for the second half of the season if Washington wants to be a playoff team. Run down the NFL scoreboard coming up here as the night goes on. Sam Darnold, of course, we will see the quarterback for the Seahawks, and Jaden Daniels in quarterback for Washington. In what is, I don't want to say it's a must win for Washington, but again, you fall to 3-6 and you're going to be up against it going into the second half of the season. Seahawks wanting to stay tied with the Rams for first place in the NFC West. Rams currently at 6-2, Seahawks at 5-2, 49ers at 6-3. So a loss tonight for the Seahawks would drop them to third place in the NFC West. Washington, with a loss tonight, would fall 3.5 behind the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. 53 degrees 50 is the kickoff temperature in Landover, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C. at Northwest Stadium. Looking forward where I'm at right here, where I'm located. I don't get a whole lot of Washington games, so I don't get to see Jaden Daniels a lot. So looking forward to seeing him in this game tonight. Sam Darnold, of course, having a pretty good first half of the season for the Seahawks, has his team right in the thick of things in the NFC West. As we are just about to go on a Sunday night just outside our nation's capital in Landover, Maryland. Of course, Washington is going to be moving back to a refurbished RFK Stadium here in the next few years. They're starting refurbishments now on RFK, so they will be back in Washington, D.C. coming up here in just a few years. While we have a moment before we get to the kickoff, let's run down the NFL scoreboard on this Sunday. As in the early games, the Patriots win again. They moved to 7-2. They held off the Falcons 24-23. Chargers win in Tennessee 27-20, dropping the Titans to 1-8. Bears, with a late touchdown, win a shootout over the Bengals 47-42. Final on that one. Colts fall for just the second time this year. Steelers beat the Colts 27-20. 49ers win at MetLife over the Giants 34-24. 49ers improved to 6-3. Their Broncos get a late field goal at the gun. They beat the Houston Texans 18-15. Denver is 7-2. Vikings beat the Lions 27-24, pulling within a game of the Lions in the NFC North. The Panthers get a field goal at the gun to beat the Packers 16-13, just the second loss for Carolina. That's the early games. And we are underway with the kickoff in Washington, taken at the 10, across the 20, 25-yard line, 26-yard line, and stopped right there. And that's where Washington will start their first drive of the game, first down from the 26-yard line. And we will see Jayden Daniels and that Washington offense. First down, Washington. Football at the 26. First possession of the game, Daniels. Daniels is going to keep it himself on a quarterback keeper and pick up 3 on first down up to the 29-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 7 for Washington. Jayden Daniels has missed 3 games this season with the knee and hamstring injury. But back in there now. Second down, 7. Daniels out of the shotgun looking to throw. Daniels will run it again and get across the 30 up to the 32. 3 more on the gain for Jayden Daniels, bringing up third down and 4 for Washington. Third down and 4, Washington football at their own 32-yard line. Opening possession of the game. Daniels takes the shotgun snap. Daniels looking. Daniels throwing to his right. Pass is complete up to the 40-yard line. That is good for a Washington first down. Reception for the tight end, Zach Ertz. And Washington moves the chains for a first down. First down at the 40 for Washington. Daniels rolling right. Daniels will throw it and incomplete. Just got rid of it at the last minute prior to being sacked. It'll be second down and 10. Second and 10. Daniels, screen pass, left side. And that's going to be a gain of about 3 yards on the screen pass. Deebo Samuel with the reception. It'll be third down and 7. We do have a flag. Bill Vinovich, our referee tonight. It's a blindside block on Washington, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty. So that will make it second and 25 for Washington. Football moved back to the 25. Second and 25 for Daniels in Washington. Daniels takes the shotgun snap. Daniels looking, nowhere to go downfield, and will just run it himself and get what he can, which is about 4 yards. But it'll still be third and very long for Washington. Third and 21. Football sitting just shy of the 30. They need to get to the 50-yard line for a first down, does Washington. Daniels Throwing over the middle, pass is caught, but nowhere near a first down. Zach Ertz with the reception for a gain of 10, but it's going to be a Washington punt, and the personal foul penalty proves costly as it just killed the Washington drive. Torrey Horton on to return the punt for the Seahawks. Horton backing up to the 10 and a fair catch. And that's where the Seahawks will start their opening drive of the game. So we will see Sam Darnold and that Seahawks offense. Sam Darnold on the season has passed for over 1,700 yards in 7 games, averaging about 250 a game, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So Washington able to pick up 1 first down on their opening drive, but had that personal foul penalty that just put an end to that drive. And now the Seahawks will start 1st and 10, but they are backed up at their own 10-yard line. Running down the rest of the NFL schedule, the late afternoon games. The Rams just all over the Saints, 34-10, dropping the Saints to 1-8. Rams go to 6-2. Jacksonville in overtime beats the Raiders 30-29. Raiders got a touchdown to tie Jacksonville. They elected to go for 2, and it was unsuccessful. And Jacksonville, with the win, improved to 5-3. So they picked up a game on the Colts in the AFC South. And a matchup between the Chiefs and the Bills. The Bills beat the Chiefs again in the regular season anyway, 28-21. Bills have had the Chiefs' number in the regular season matchups, just have not been able to get past them in the playoffs. That drops the Chiefs to 5-4. Bills are now 6-2. And, of course, Monday Night Football tomorrow night. Arizona and Dallas, 2 teams really facing must wins. Cardinals at 2-5. Cowboys are at 3-4-1 on the season. So here we go. First look at the Seattle offense with Sam Darnold. Excuse me. Sam Darnold bringing out the Seahawks offense. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 10. Man in motion. Here's a toss on 1st down. And this will be a gain of about 6-7 yards on 1st down as the toss went to Kenneth Walker III. 2nd down for Seattle. Darnold on 2nd down, pass caught. That's going to be a Seahawks 1st down up to the 29-yard line. Reception made by Torrey Horton. 1st down, Seattle. First down to 29. Handoff to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Jackson Smith-Njigba is near a first down for Seattle. And it will be a first down for the Seahawks on a gain of 11. First down at the 40-yard line for the Seahawks. Darnold, pass the right side. Pass is going to be caught at the 45-yard line and out of bounds. That's, again, Torrey Horton with the reception. The flag on the play. We'll check the flag is the chop block on Seattle. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. So now 1st and 25 for Seattle. Back at the 25. 9:20 and counting remaining opening quarter. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold throws over the middle. Pass is complete at the 36-yard line. That's a reception again for Jackson Smith-Njigba, and he gets up to the 38-yard line, so they got half the 25 on that one play. Second and 12. Football sitting just inside the 38. Screen pass on second down, and we've got flags. No play here. It's going to be a false start on Seattle. Abraham Lucas guilty of the false start. So it'll make it 2nd and 17 for the Seahawks. Out of the gun is Darnold. Darnold throw, pass caught, and that's going to be near a first down. And again, the reception for Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's a gain of 13, setting up 3rd down and 4. Now manageable 3rd down. Third down for the Seahawks. Darnold throws, pass caught, first down Seattle, and then a fumble. Now, what are they calling this here? They're calling it a catch and down prior to the ball coming loose. So that's going to be a first down for Seattle. A.J. Barner with the reception. Barner clearly down before that ball came out. First down in Washington territory at the 44. And here's a handoff to Walker, and this is going to be near first down yardage again for Kenneth Walker. And it is a first down for Seattle. Kenneth Walker, fourth-year running back out of Michigan State. Getting 11 there. From the 32-yard line of Washington, first down Seattle. This is Walker again getting the carry up the middle, and he'll pick up 6 more up to the 26-yard line. Second down and 4. Second and 4, 5.5 and counting to go in the quarter. Then nearly 6-minute drive for the Seahawks. And again, it's Walker getting the carry. And Walker will be about a yard short of a first down as he picks up 3. Third and short coming for Seattle. Walker going to the sideline for a little breather. Third and 1. And it's going to be a quarterback keep, but we've got movement all over the place prior to the snap. There was movement all over the place, and it's going to be a false start. They got Charles Cross for the false start for Seattle, but I think you could have pretty much picked anybody on the line on that one. It was Cross, though, getting the slight jump. Third penalty on Seattle. So that bumps it back to a 3rd and 6. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold looking over the middle. First down, Seattle inside the 20. The reception by Walker. And he's down at the 13-yard line. The Seahawks have moved it into the red zone on a drive that started at their own 10. They have moved it down to the Washington 13. First down and 10 for Seattle. Already picked up 77 yards on this drive. Darnold incomplete. And a flag intended for Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I think we're going to have some interference here against Washington. It is pass interference on Washington. Marshawn Lattimore guilty of the pass interference. It'll be first and goal, Seattle. Spot the football at the 3-yard line. First and goal for the Seahawks. 3:48 to go, opening quarter. Be the 11th play of the drive. Darnold, the give to Walker, and Walker's going to lose a yard on this first down run. It'll be second and goal for Seattle. And that time on the stop defensively for Washington is Jeremy Reeves. Second and goal from the 4. It's been an 8-minute drive and counting for the Seahawks. Darnold fakes the handoff, throws, end zone, touchdown, Seattle. There is a flag in the end zone, so we'll wait and see. But right now, it's a 4-yard touchdown pass to Torrey Horton, but we'll check the flag. It's interference on Washington, so that'll be declined, and the Seahawks strike first with a 4-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold to Torrey Horton. 6-0 with the extra point pending. The Seahawks drive it 90 yards on their opening drive. Extra point attempt on the way. And it is good, and the Seahawks grab a 7-0 lead with 3:04 remaining in this first quarter. Play, 90-yard drive, 8 minutes, 7 seconds on the time. Finished off with a 4-yard touchdown pass from Darnold to Horton. And the Seahawks lead at 7-0 with 3:04 to play in the opening quarter. So an emphatic first drive for the Seahawks in this one, as they look to stay tied for first place in the NFC West with the Rams. Rams already winning earlier today over the Saints. To move to 6-2. Seahawks hoping to get to 6-2. Seahawks will return home next week and host their NFC West rival, Arizona Cardinals. Washington, meanwhile, has a big game next Sunday afternoon in the late afternoon window, hosting the Detroit Lions. Rematch of a divisional playoff game from last year, which Washington went up to Detroit and won. So with 3:04 to go in the opening quarter, Seattle getting set to kick it back off to Washington, who now trails 7-0. Washington got 1 first down on their opening drive, but a 15-yard penalty has killed the drive after that. Here's the kickoff. And it will be a kneel down in the end zone for a touchback. And Washington will come out for their second drive of the game. Looks like Luke McCaffrey was shaken up on a play. That's the Washington wide receiver got shaken up. Play a shoulder injury on the first drive, so he's ruled out the rest of the game. First down, Washington at the 20 after the touchback. And here's a handoff, and it'll be a minimal gain on first down, maybe a couple. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt with the carry for Washington. rookie out of Arizona. Gain of 2 for him brings up 2nd down and 8. Down to 2.5 to play in this opening quarter. Daniels on 2nd down will take it himself again. Daniels will get up to the 28-yard line, a couple yards short of a 1st down. Gain of 6 for Jayden Daniels. So Daniels has already rushed it 4 times here in this first quarter for 16 yards. Third down and 2. Football sitting at the 28-yard line. Daniels takes the snap. Daniels looking. Daniels throwing. Pass caught. 1st down, Washington on a gain of 4. Flag is down. Zach Ertz with the reception, but we'll check the flag. It's going to be a hold on Seattle. So that will give Washington a 1st down as they'll take the penalty. Nick Emmanwori, the rookie out of South Carolina, guilty of the defensive hold. 1st down to 33. Here's a toss. Krosky Merritt with the carry, and he will get a gain of 4 up to the 37-yard line. 2nd down coming for Washington. Second and 6 at the 37, final minute, first quarter. Daniels under center this time. And here's a toss. This is Krosky Merritt again with the carry, and he will be brought down at the 41-yard line. Couple yards shy of a 1st down, bringing up 3rd down and 2. Third down and 2 for Washington. They will have to snap it before the quarter ends. And this will be a 3rd down run, and he is not going to get there. The Seattle defense steps up. On 3rd and a couple, Krosky Merritt held to a 1-yard gain. So on 4th and 1 on your own side of the field, what will Dan Quinn do? He'll have the quarter break to think about it. End of 1 in Landover. Seahawks lead at 7-0. Just taking a look at the stats through 1 quarter. Total yardage of 104 for the Seahawks. Washington at 44. 7-2 on 1st downs. Seattle with 7, Washington with 2. Seattle was 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on that opening drive. Washington just 1 for 3. 4 penalties in that first quarter called against the Seahawks for 29 yards. Washington penalized 2 times for 25 yards. Sam Darnold in that first quarter, a perfect 6 of 6 for 67 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 2 catches, 27 yards. Torrey Horton, 2 catches for 17 yards, and he had the receiving touchdown for Seattle. A catch each for Kenneth Walker and A.J. Barner. For Washington, Jaden Daniels, 2 for 3 passing for 17 yards, but he's run 4 times for 16 yards. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 3 carries for 11 yards. Zach Ertz has both receptions for Washington for 17 yards. And that's how we sit after one, 7-0 Seattle. Washington is going to have a 4th down and 1 at their own 42-yard line. Let's see if Dan Quinn will roll the dice and go for it here on 4th down. Would not surprise me to see them go for it. On a 53-degree Sunday evening, just outside our nation's capital, in Landover, Maryland. So on 4th down, Washington does have the offense on the field. They need less than a yard. It's more like about a few feet on this 4th down. Daniels, rolling right pass, caught, 1st down, Washington into Seattle territory. It looked like Daniels was going to run it, but then rolled to his right and then threw it to the tight end, John Bates, who picks up the Washington 1st down. And that keeps the drive alive for Washington. On 4th and a few inches, it was a pickup of 9. First down. Daniels gives it off to Deebo Samuel, and Samuel will pick up 9 up to the 39-yard line, bringing up 2nd and a yard. Injured Seahawk on the play. That's Josh Jobe. 4th-year cornerback out of Alabama that's shaken up on the play for Seattle. Oh, looks like he got hit by a little friendly fire there. Jobe's got the helmet off as he goes to the sideline. So Rick Woolen going to come in for Jobe in that cornerback spot as Jobe is going into the tent. I'm sure he's going to go in concussion protocol. So he took a helmet-to-helmet hit by his teammate. They're both going after the tackle. Second and 1 for Washington. Football at the Seattle 39. Just underway, 2nd quarter. Man in motion is Samuel. It's a toss to Krosky-Merritt, and Merritt is stuffed at the 40-yard line. That's going to be a loss of a yard on 2nd and 1. And that'll bring up now 3rd down and 2 for Washington. There was just nowhere to go for Krosky-Merritt on that 2nd and 1 play. 3rd and 2, back at the 40. Daniels goes back in shotgun. Krosky-Merritt back alongside Daniels. Daniels takes the snap. Daniels looking. Flag comes in. Daniels runs it. 1st down. Slides down at the 34-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is. It's a face mask against Washington on the offensive side. And a clear face mask when they showed it on the replay. So now instead of a first down for Washington, it is 3rd and 17. Back in their own territory at their own 45. Daniels takes the snap. Daniels pressure. Daniels throwing right side, and that is intercepted. Daniels just kind of threw that up for grabs along there toward the sideline, and it was picked off. Ty Okada with the interception for Seattle. And the drive ends with a turnover. And the Seahawks will take over at the 40-yard line. Well, that's a throw. If you're Jaden Daniels, you've been in the league long enough. You can't just throw them balls up for grabs like that. Worst case scenario there, just make sure you have them just throw it into in the first row or something, but you cannot leave them up for grabs like that. So the Seahawks will get it back. Up 7-0, and after the interception, they have very good starting field position at their own 40-yard line. Well, we're at the halfway point of the NFL season. And your current division leaders look this way in the NFC East, or in the AFC East. I don't know that anyone saw this coming. The AFC East leaders right now are the New England Patriots at 7-2 with Buffalo a half game behind them. AFC North, Pittsburgh leading the way at 5-3. Baltimore is 3-5, 2 games back. With the Bengals losing today, that dropped them to 3-6. AFC South, it's still the Colts leading at 7-2, but Jacksonville picked up a game on them today, so they're now a game and a half behind the Colts. AFC West leaders are the Denver Broncos by a game over the Chargers. With the Chiefs lost today, they fall 2 back of Denver. In the NFC, division leaders, the Eagles in the NFC East at 6-2. They're running away with that thing. They have a 2.5 game lead over Dallas. Dallas plays tomorrow night against Arizona, trying to get to 500. NFC North led by the Packers at 5-2-1. Although they lost today, they lead the Lions by a half game, but they did beat the Lions in the head-to-head matchup. They'll meet one more time on Thanksgiving Day. First down for the Seahawks. Darnold rolling left, throws to a wide-open Jackson Smith-Njigba into Washington territory, and that'll be a Seattle first down. First down Seahawks on one play. They move the ball into Washington territory. Darnold now 7 for 7 passing the football. And this is a running play on first down, and going nowhere is Zach Charbonnet getting the carry this time for Seattle for no gain. Be second down and 10. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, after a brief breather on the last play, coming right back in. 2nd and 10 for Seattle. Football at the Washington 43. Charbonnet in the backfield with Darnold. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold throws left. Pass complete. Jackson Smith-Njigba right back in on the action. He'll pick up 7 on this 2nd and 3 play. Some pushing and shoving after the play. Third down and 3 coming up for Seattle. Third and 3, football at the 36. And Charbonnet with a first down carry for the Seahawks inside the 30 to the 27. Zach Charbonnet picks up 9 on 3rd and 3. So the Seahawks on both of their drives have just marched right on down the field. It was a 90-yard drive on their opening drive, and they are marching down the field again on this second drive. Got an injury timeout here. Zach Charbonnet took a pretty good hit. I don't know if he's the one down, but showing on the replay, he took a pretty good shot at the end of that. And going back to the division leaders in the NFL, NFC South, Tampa Bay at 6-2, leading the NFC South. They lead by a game and a half over Carolina. And in the NFC West, the Rams are at 6-2. The Seahawks trying to get to 6-2 with the win tonight. 49ers sitting at 6-3. So that is a tight NFC West battle between the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. Looking at some of the featured games in the NFL next week. Got another international game coming up next week in the NFL. This game will be in Berlin, Germany, as the Colts will take on the Falcons. Featured early game, I think, in the early window next week, a pair of division leaders. It's an intra-conference matchup. Patriots traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. That should be a pretty good ball game next week. That's the featured 1 o'clock game next week. Then the featured late afternoon game. It's going to be interesting to see which one Fox puts as the featured game of the late afternoon. I think before the season started, Lions and Washington was going to be the pick, but you got the Rams and 49ers in the late window too. So those two teams are right there in the battle in the NFC West. So it's going to be interesting to see which game they pick. A Sunday night game next week's out in Los Angeles, Steelers and the Chargers. So following the injury timeout, Charbonnet was actually not the injured player on the field. It was Washington's Quan Martin that was shaken up, and he is walking to the sideline under his own power. First down, Seattle at the 27 of Washington. And here's a handoff on first down. This will go inside the 25 up to the 21-yard line. That's Charbonnet again picking up 6 more. 10 minutes and counting to play in the second quarter. 2nd and 4. Football sitting just shy of the 21-yard line. Toss to Charbonnet. And nowhere to go, and he's going to be brought down for a big loss on 2nd down. Way back at the 25-yard line, it was a pitch play to Charbonnet, and he had nowhere to go, and it's a 4-yard loss. It'll set up 3rd down and 8. Third down 8 for Seattle. Football sitting at the Washington 25. Darnold throwing to the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown, Seattle. Torrey Horton with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. He was wide open in the end zone. 13-0 Seattle with the extra point pending. And Seattle takes advantage of the great field position. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. And Horton was wide open. He just simply outran his defender. Extra point attempt for Myers is up and good, and it is 14-0 Seattle. There's a flag on the extra point. I didn't see what that penalty was, but okay, running into the kicker, I think, was what they called on the penalty there. So the extra point stands. It is 14-0 Seattle with 8:52 to play in quarter number 2. That drive, 7 plays, 60 yards, 3 minutes, 57 seconds, 15-yard, 25-yard touchdown pass, from Darnold to Horton. Sam Darnold, a perfect 9 for 9 to start this game for 116 yards. Seahawks as a team are at 164 yards. They are 4 for 4 on 3rd downs. And they have had their way on their 2 offensive drives of this game so far and lead the game 14-0 with 8:52 to go in the second quarter. Update you on my upcoming live streams tomorrow night. Normally I do Monday Night Football on my live streams, but my TV provider, YouTube TV and Disney, are going through some kerfuffle. So I do not have access to those channels right now. And since college basketball opens tomorrow night anyway, I'm going to do a college basketball game tomorrow night. The defending national champions, Florida and Arizona, out in Las Vegas. Opening night of college basketball. So I'll be on for the live stream on that one tomorrow. I believe it is a 7 o'clock Eastern tip, I believe, on that. So I'll be on just prior to tip off for that one, as college basketball opens tomorrow night. Then I'll jump on throughout the week for a couple of college basketball games. Normally on Saturdays, I do 2 college football games. I am not going to be able to jump on the live stream this Saturday. I've got a work commitment and then a commitment afterwards, so not going to be able to jump on for any college football this week, but hope to get back to that next week. Here's the kickoff, taken right at the goal line across the 10, 20, 25-yard line. Lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. Washington turns it over on the kickoff, and Seattle recovers, and Seattle's going to get the ball right back. That was Jalen Lane that coughed it up on the kickoff return. Connor O'Toole, the one that recovered the fumble for Seattle. So Seattle gets it right back and will start this next drive in Washington territory and deep in Washington territory at the 26. Darnold looking, throwing, end zone, touchdown, Seattle. 2 touchdowns in 11 seconds for the Seahawks. It is 20-0 with the extra point pending. Elijah Arroyo, the tight end, with his first catch. It's a 26-yard touchdown reception. Elijah Arroyo, rookie out of Miami. Myers to add the extra point. And it is good, and it is 21-0 Seahawks. 2 touchdowns in 11 seconds. 8:41 to play in the second quarter. My goodness. One play, 26 yards, 5 seconds. Sam Darnold to Elijah Arroyo, 26 yards. So Washington going to have to try and get something going here. Now in a 3-touchdown hole. Here's the kickoff. And that will go through the end zone for a touchback. So Washington will get another chance on offense here. So back comes Jaden Daniels and the Washington offense. First down at the 20. Daniels throws through the hands and incomplete. Went right through the hands of his tight end, John Bates. Second down and 10. Second and 10, ball at the 20. Daniels with a handoff on second down. This will be a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line. Skrosky Merritt got the carry. Third down and 5. Third down and 5. Daniels takes the shotgun snap. Daniels looking. Daniels throws left side. Pass caught, but short of the first down. That's Zach Ertz. On 3rd and 5, the pass was only for about 3. And 4th down, and Washington's going to have to punt it. And they're going to give them 4, but still a yard short of a first down. You're already down 21 points. And you're at your own 29-yard line. Yeah, they're keeping the offense out there. I mean, I know you're at your own 29, but you're already down 3 touchdowns. Daniels being pressure. Daniels runs it. First down, but I think we have a flag before, so no play here. Get the call from Vinovich. It's a false start. So now Washington's probably going to have to punt it. Zach Ertz, the guilty party of the false start. Yep, sure did. They showed it on the replay. So now Washington will have to punt it right back to the Seahawks. Punt. It takes a nice Washington bounce and will bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, and will be downed at the 13-yard line. With the bounce, that's a 63-yard punt. And Seattle will start from inside their 20. Up 21-0. 6:44 remaining in the second quarter. I want to mention at the half, going to pause this live stream for about 10 minutes. Be back right before the second half, get to run down some first half stats, and get ready for the second half. A first half that has been absolutely dominated by Seattle. So, first down for Seattle from the 13-yard line for this next drive. Sam Darnold, a perfect 10 for 10 for 142 yards. And with 6:44 to go in the second quarter, here comes Darnold and that Seattle offense. Darnold fakes the handoff. Darnold throws, passes caught by Walker, and Walker's up to the 18-yard line. Pass is good for 5 yards, bringing up 2nd and 5. Second and 5 at the 18. And another handoff. This is Walker, and Walker's going to be stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 coming up for Seattle. Third and 5. Football at the 18. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold throwing, pass caught, 1st down. Jackson Smith-Njigba, and across the 35 to the 39 on 3rd and 5, the pass goes for 21 to Jackson Smith-Njigba. First down, Seattle. Darnold rolling right, throws wide open receiver, and down the field, and this is going to be a 60-yard touchdown. The Seahawks' 4th touchdown in as many drives. This one goes to the wide receiver, Cody White, and it is 27-0 Seahawks. Darnold remains perfect on the night. Extra point attempt by Myers. Up and good. 28-0 Seattle with 4:34 to play in the second quarter. It is a Seahawks rout in the first half. This drive was 4 plays, 87 yards, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Darnold to Cody White's 60-yard touchdown. As the Seahawks are now at 277 yards of offense in the first half. I don't think I have ever seen a line jump like this as far as the betting line goes. This game kicked off at Seattle -2.5. The live odds now, Seattle -26.5. And we're not even through a half yet. I don't think I've ever seen a line jump that much in not even a half a play. So Washington's going to have to regroup here and find something on the offensive side. They've been held to 71 yards in the first half. Here's the kickoff. And taken at the 1 yard line, across the 10, 15, 20 yard line, 25, and across the 30 to the 31 yard line. So a decent kick return will give Washington decent field position on this next drive at their own 31. First down, Washington at the 31 yard line. Daniels will run it himself across the 35, and down he goes at the 38 yard line, gain of 7 for Jayden Daniels on first down. Down to 4 minutes in the second quarter. Second and 3 from the 38. Daniels will hand it off, and this will be a first down run for Washington, just their third first down of the first half. Chris Rodriguez Jr. getting the carry for a gain of 4 and a Washington first down. Washington does have all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. First down for Washington. Here's a handoff. That's Rodriguez again, and he's got another first down into Seattle territory. So Chris Rodriguez Jr. comes into the game at running back. And has picked up 22 yards on his last 2 carries, on his first 2 carries. First down at the 46. Daniels throwing, pass caught. That's going to be another first down to Deebo Samuel. Actually, they're going to spot him about a yard short. .220 and counting. Washington going to try to get off a play before the 2-minute warning, it looks like. Second and 1. Daniels takes the snap. It's a handoff to Rodriguez. It'll be a first down for Washington inside the 35 to the 33. As we have hit the 2-minute warning officially at 1:57 of the first half. All Seahawks, but Washington looking for a late touchdown at the end of the first half. Try to crawl their way back into this one. Again, another reminder, I'm going to briefly pause the live stream at halftime for about 10 minutes. Be back right before start of the second half with some first half stats. So following the 2-minute timeout, Washington has it first down at the Seattle 33. Best scoring chance of the first half. So here we go, out of the 2-minute warning. First down, Washington at the Seattle 33. Daniels looking, throwing, pass complete inside the 20. This will be a gain of 15 more. Jalen Lane, rookie wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, with the reception. Gain of 15 up to the 18-yard line. Daniels takes the snap. It's a handoff to Rodriguez. Rodriguez up to the 13-yard line, gain of 5. Clock continuing to run, and now we're going to have a timeout at the 1:09 mark of the first half. Timeout called by Seattle on defense. They're wanting to get the ball back, have a little bit of time for their offense. So can Washington get on the board here before the end of the first half? Give them maybe some momentum going forward into the second half. All right, and we had a shaken up Seahawk on the play here. It's Ernest Jones the fourth shaken up on the play. 2nd and 5 at the 13 as we are back to action here. Daniels rolling left, throwing out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Third and 5. Washington needs to get to the 8-yard line for a first down. Daniels on 3rd and 5, rolling right, runs it on his feet. Daniels inside the 5 and bumped out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Daniels picks up 12. 1st and goal, Washington at the 1. Daniels now up to 36 yards rushing. 1st and goal at the 1. Daniels keeps it, and it's a touchdown for Jayden Daniels from a yard out. And Washington is on with 53 seconds remaining in the second quarter. That's a big score for Washington right before the half. They were on the verge of getting run right out of their own building. But that touchdown for Daniels may give Washington some momentum here. Extra point attempt is up and good. And it's 28-7 with 53 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So Seattle will get the ball back with 2 timeouts, leading 28-7. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here. They have a chance to get points right before the first half. And they also get the football to start the second half. That was a 10-play, 69-yard drive for Washington, 3 minutes, 41 seconds. Jayden Daniels, 1-yard touchdown run. Make it 28-7. So we are just about set for the kickoff. And here's the kickoff. Taken at the 5, across the 10, 15, 20, and at the 25-yard line, a shot there at the end. So Seattle will have 1st and 10 at the 25. 49 seconds left. Second quarter. Darnold out of the gun on first down. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold throws, pass caught. Jackson Smith-Njigba across the 40 to the 44-yard line, gain of 20. Seattle with 2 timeouts. Clock running. Darnold throws complete up to the 49-yard line. Clock is running, and now a timeout with 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Darnold 15 for 15 in the first half. First down, Seattle at the Washington 49. Darnold takes the snap. Darnold throwing right side. Pass caught. Jackson Smith-Njigba with another catch. And Darnold was right on the money. This pass goes for 26 up to the 23-yard line of Washington. Like they're reviewing this just to make sure it was a catch, but it looked pretty good to me on the replay. I'll look at it one more time. Oh, actually, did his right foot. It showed the replay, and actually, did his right foot come down out of bounds? That's. You're still looking at this. I thought it was a sure catch, and then they showed one angle, and I'm wondering if his right foot stepped out of bounds. Got the left foot down, but... Or did he drag the right foot as he was catching it? The call on the field is a catch, so there's got to be indisputable evidence. I just don't know that we have that to overturn it. One more look. He's got it there. Oh, yeah, he's dragged the... Oh, this should... It did look like he drugged the right foot, and then his right foot hits out of bounds. So it is a catch, but it does, and with 13 seconds, it does take a 10-second runoff. So that'll move the clock down to 3 seconds. And Seattle will bring on the field goal kicker in Myers to try and get a field goal to end the first half. This will be about a, 41-yard attempt. So with 3 seconds, Seattle trying to get 3 more here before the half, and they get the football to start the second half. From 41. Final play of the first half, barring a Washington penalty. Snap is good, kick is away, and Myers puts it right down the middle. And it is a 31-7 lead for the Seahawks as we have reached intermission. (31-7) our halftime score. Sam Darnold's passed for almost 300 yards in the first half. And the Seahawks have scored on every single one of their first half possessions and lead it by 24 at the half. Again, I'm going to pause this live stream momentarily for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back right before the start of the second half, run down some first half stats, and get ready for the second half. Brief pause, and